how are you doing today? I hope that you are doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. So, I'm taking you guys at your word that you don't care that I have no makeup on and that I look like a hot mess express. Have I been up since early morning, like 3? Yes. Have I had to work all day with a 6-month-old? Yes, because school is canceled here. Well, not canceled, it's distance learning because of all the snow. And then his daycare, pipes burst at his daycare. So they are closed. So on top of all of that, I have like, I don't know, my eye is like really dry and red on this side. So no makeup for me. So this is what you get. I blow dried my hair and showered. So that's a plus. But you're not here for all that. Or maybe you are. Maybe you are. But today's video, I've got some books I'm hauling for y'all. And I'm so excited about these. I am more than thrilled. So as you guys know, my father-in-law passed away in January, and I loved my father-in-law very, very, very much. And when I was pregnant and it was the beginning of the pandemic, I got into a really bad reading slump. I got sort of depressed because I wasn't able to do all the things that, you know, pregnant people are supposed to be able to do to celebrate and all of that stuff. So I asked him for some reading recommendations, and he really loves sci-fi. Him and my husband, like the stars, that's like one of the things that they talked about all the time. And so I read Childhood's End and discussed it with him, and Rendezvous with Rama. And I read them on my Nook, or on my Kindle, and but when he passed, I wanted to have them physically, and I wanted to have some really cool looking ones. So I jumped on eBay and I was able to find this whole entire box edition. It's the best of Arthur C. Clarke, and it's just really cool. So one, the box is pretty well, like, and look at the books aren't bad, and the covers are really, really, really cool. So I've read Childhood's End, which this cover is really cool. Like, this edition is from, let's see, this is the 37th printing, and this is 1977. So this is 1977. That's a pretty good looking book for being as old as it is. Then I read Rendezvous with Rama. God, look how cool these covers are. Like, those are just so freaking nifty. This book was $1.95, like, in 1977. Yeah, it's so cool, and I'm really, really excited to, like, it even has Star Wars, the best movie, in the back. It's the year's paperback sensation. I loved Star Wars, and so will you. Star Wars, $1.95. Like, shipping and handling, 50 cents. Like, I thought that was really cool. And so there are 2 other books that come with this that I haven't read. So I'm sort of going to read it in memory of him. And so one is Earthlight. It says, the tie that bends. The human race has been born on a unique world, a world loaded with mineral wealth, unmatched elsewhere in the solar system. This accident of fate gave a flying start to man's technology, but it made man dependent on his home world. What were independent republics on Mars and Venus to do? United in a federation, they were still dependent on Earth for such essentials as mercury, lead, uranium, and modern technology could not survive without them. There had to be a better way. And this is such a short book. It's 155 pages. So tiny, and I can't wait to read that one. And then the next one is Imperial Earth, and I think that this is my favorite cover because if you open it, like, that's just so cool. That's just so freaking cool. 2276, welcome to Earth for America's quincentennial. The time of troubles is over. War and poverty are dead. And Duncan Mackenzie, benign ruler of the distant world of Titan, has returned to the planet of his forefathers to solve a mystery and create a son, a clone, an exact replica of himself. It just looks so cool, and I'm really thrilled to have been able to find this and to purchase this in such good condition and to remind me of my father-in-law, and I could not be happier. The next book I got was a book that was sent to me by the publisher, but it is Grounds for Murder by Tara Lush, and it's based in Florida, which is perfect kind of weather for the weather we're having here. But it says, when Lana Lewis's best and most difficult employee abruptly quits and goes to work for competition just days before the Sunshine State Barista Championship, her cafe's chances of winning the contest are creamed. In front of a gossipy crowd in the small Florida town of Devil's Beach, Lana's normally calm demeanor heats to a boil when she runs into the arrogant Java slinger. Of course, Fabrizio Fab Bellucci has a slick explanation for jumping ship, but when he's found dead the next morning under a palm tree in the alley behind Lana's cafe, she becomes the prime suspect. And this just looks super perfect. It is the first book in a coffee lovers mystery series. You guys know I'm always down for coffee cozies, coffee anything, cozies anything. So that is Grounds for Murder by Tara Lush. It just, it came out not too long ago, actually, 2020. So December it came out. So super excited about that one. And then the next 5 books, thank you, Catherine, for introducing me to Abe Books. If you don't know about Abe Books, it is a website where you can buy used books from small indie bookshops and things like that at a really good cost. And you can, from what she said, you can really trust like their like conditions of books and stuff, which from what I ordered, I 100% trust their conditions, like that they say that like if the book is in good condition or not. I don't know how, and I swear to you I never would. One of my absolute favorite authors is Daniel Quinn. I've talked about him multiple times on this channel, and I don't know where all of my Daniel Quinn novels went. I would not have unhauled them. Like, I guess I need to go back to all of my unhauls and watch them, but in my heart I feel like I would never have unhauled them, but I can't find them like anywhere. But I've been really wanting to read Daniel Quinn again. So she was freaking amazing and was like, well, have you heard of Abe Books? And she helped me find. So Ishmael by Daniel Quinn. This is the first book that I ever read. It's basically like, it talks about like human society, and it's sort of like a fictional philosophy book. Like it's very hard to explain. It says, teacher seeks pupil, must have an earnest desire to save the world. Apply in person. It was just a 3-line ad in the personal section, but it launched an adventure of a lifetime. So begins Ishmael, an utterly unique and captivating novel that earned a large and passionate following among readers and critics alike. One of the most beloved and best-selling books of spiritual adventure ever published. So we have Ishmael, and then we have My Ishmael, which is a sequel, which I love. I love it. It says, when Ishmael places an advertisement for pupils with an earnest desire to save the world, he does not expect a child to answer. But 12-year-old Julie Gerchak is undaunted by Ishmael's reluctance to teach someone so young, and convinces convinces him to take her as his next student. Ishmael knows he can't apply the same strategies with Julie that he used for his first pupil, Alan, nor can he hope for the same outcome. But Julie proves that she is ready to forge her own spiritual path and arrive at her own destination. It's just so good. And then, of course, we have the book that finishes it, and it's The Story of Bee. This is an adventure of mind and spirit. And it says, people are listening, Jared, possibly to something quite new. That makes it dangerous. So begins Father Jared Osborne's mission to Europe to find a peripatetic preacher whose radical message is attracting a growing circle of followers. Father Osborne is bound by a covert centuries-old mandate held by his religious order to know before all others that the Antichrist is among us and to try to suppress and destroy him. Every 50 years or so, a new candidate emerges and is investigated, despite the fact that they've always proved to be harmless. Until now. Guys, I love this series, love it so much. I have pushed this book onto so many people's hands and bookshelves, but this isn't the only series that I love by him. I also love After Dachau. So this is what would have happened had Hitler won. And it's 2,000 years after Hitler has, after Nazi Germany has taken over. It says, imagine that Nazi Germany was the first to develop the atomic bomb, and the Allies surrendered. The Nazis continued to press their campaign and rid the world of mongrel races until eventually the world, from Cape Town to Tokyo, was populated only by white faces. 2,000 years in the future, people don't remember or much care about this distant past. The reality is that to be human is to be Caucasian, and what became four is literally ancient history. Now imagine that reincarnation is a reality. That souls migrate over time from one living creature to another. A crack appears in the cosmos. A traumatic accident causes memories from a life lived centuries before to pour into the present. This is an amazing book. It's just, it is absolutely fantastic. I could not, like, I'm going to reread this book again. I'm just so excited that we were able to find it, especially with this cover. This is my favorite cover of After Dachau, and it's just so good. The next book that I have is The Holy by Daniel Quinn. Now, I actually haven't read The Holy. I owned it, but I hadn't read it yet. And it says, they knew us before we began to walk upright. Shamans called them guardians. Myth makers called them tricksters. Pagans called them gods. Churchmen called them demons. Folklorists called them shapeshifters. They've obligingly taken any role we've assigned them, and while needing nothing from us, have accepted whatever we thought was their due. Love, hate, fear, worship, condemnation, neglect, and oblivion. Even in modern times, when their existence is doubted or denied, they continued to extend invitations to those who would travel a different road, a road not found on any of our cultural maps, but now perceiving us as a threat to life itself, they issued their invitations with an urgent purpose. In this dazzling metaphysical thriller, four who put themselves in the hands of these all but forgotten others venture across sinister American landscape, hidden from normal view, finding their way to interlocking destinies of death, terror, transcendental rapture, and shattering enlightenment. And I'm really excited to dive into this as well. So yeah, that is a book haul, and I haven't done like a physical book haul in a while. I normally, like, I read a lot of my books on my Kindle, but I really miss physical book hauls. So what did you think? Did I intrigue you on any of the books? What are some books that you hauled, you know, so far this year, or that you're super excited about that you bought? But yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys say down below. That's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.